back with another exciting episode of 7 Days to Die Mods Week of the show. Help figure out what mods are good for you. And this week, as you guys can see here, we have a cool week ahead of us. We're going to cover some really cool mods. But before we jump into anything, I want to say thank you to the mod authors for creating all these cool works that you guys do. Thank you, community members, for, all the support. Hey, check out these mods and stuff like that. Like, you guys are awesome. Mod authors, you guys are awesome. I love the work that you do. But I am going to take a second and say, mod authors, if you use someone else's assets, please, please, please credit them with their assets. Don't just take stuff from other people and not credit them. If they've put work into it, credit them like I do every time I show, hey, these are the people that made these mods. I'm not just stealing this for my own benefit. I'm making sure the credit goes where credit is due because these people have worked on it and they deserve that credit. And speaking of, we're going to jump into these first mods. And the very first mod is a super awesome server lobby crafting by Den Miller. And since this mod dropped, I have started using this thing on my server that I play with my friends because it's fantastic. I love this mod. It is a really good mod for server hosters or just people in general who like to play without strict management of fuel and stuff like that. Now, I say people who like to do without strict fuel management and stuff is because if we look at these benches here, they're an awesome blue color, which I love this blue. It's something about it makes it look really good. But when we come in here, we don't have to put a fuel slide in here. We can just say, okay, I want to mix up 6,000 gunpowder, and boom, there we go. Now it's cooking it. And this is great for servers because, like, with my friends and stuff like that, we all just kind of do whatever, whenever, however we want. But something like this, to where we're not having to be like, oh, who was the last person to use this bench? Well, you didn't put fuel in it or whatever, so whatever was crafting just kind of stopped, which can be kind of a pain in the ass at times. But instead, we can say, okay, well, we need to make some cement mix, right? Well, we just come here, or concrete mix. We just come here, craft it. There's no fuel, nothing like that. Oh, we need to make something a workbench. We want to make a whole bunch of iron ladders. Boom, there we go. Well, I mean, workbench doesn't really have that problem anyway, but you see what I'm saying? Like, or the forge. The forge, you just throw your clay in, boom, there it goes. It's smelting down some clay. We want to throw some iron in and let it smelt down. We don't have any fuel in it, so the heat map is not being generated ridiculously high, which is playing with Darkness Falls and stuff like that. You need this. But it's really cool to be able to see stuff like this, that you could just come to a bench, craft what you want, and then, especially on like a server where you're playing with friends and stuff like that, if you've got this set up, you just go do what you want. Everybody has fun, and then you don't have to have someone managing the workstations all the time, making sure fuel doesn't burn down, making sure stuff is crafting properly. I mean, so long as there's room in the craft stuff here, set it, forget it, go about your day, baby. I like this mod for that. So Den Miller, thank you so much for making it. It's super cool. But with that, we're going to go ahead and move over to the next mod. Alright folks, so this next mod is the Infinite Junk Turret Active Range by Wesser, and I super love this mod because what this mod does is it takes the active range that you can be from your turret from, like, I want to say it's 20 meters, 60 meters at most, to up to 16K, which is, like the largest map size, so it's fantastic. I like it, not because, I can leave it at my base and then go flitz off somewhere, but because, like, when you're mining or something like that, and, Darkness Falls is real big about it, but it happens just normal game as well, where you'll have screamers spawn in. Now, normally, when you would set that here, if we run into our mine, it would slowly stop working as we got farther away from it. Like, if we were to run across the street, normally, about right here, it would quit working. Actually, it probably would have quit working about right here first until we upgraded the skills, and then it would quit about right here, give or take, right? Give or take some range. But you see, we have zombies over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come set this down where it should be just outside of the range of these zombies, targeting them, right? And I'm going to back up again to over here to the entrance to the mine, which that's a pretty good distance, honestly. Usually about how far I mine anyway. I'm going to unfreeze the AI. I'm going to shoot, and watch what happens as these zombies start coming towards me. Come on, ladies. Oh, you're going to make me go into the fly spectator mode, right? Okay, well, here we go. Hey, over here, guys. Over here, guys. Over here. Over here. See, there it goes. It's shooting. And see, there it goes. It's doing its stuff, and we're over here with our bodies. That's why I like this, because it lets me be able to set it down when I'm mining, and it guard the entrance to the mine. And especially if you've got like a really good one and stuff, and you've got streamers coming up behind you to bite you in the butt, you just set this down at the entrance to your mine. You set it here like this. We just go bloop. Okay. I forgot there was a chicken there. Sorry. And then you just come in here, you do your mining business, and you don't have to worry about anything because you got a turret up there that's going to shoot any zombies or anything that come towards you. Or you could put a junk turret down and it'll smack them away. I love that. I like having that ability to have a turret that has got a really long range without having to super spec into it, because I think there's better stuff to spec into than just that, especially because I rarely ever use 2 turrets like this. I only use 1 usually, but you know, I think this just mod, it's a fantastic way to get around that. But with that, folks, we're going to go ahead and move over to the next mod. All right, folks, so this next mod is Nades, N8Y. I don't know how you want us to say that, so I'm just going to say Nades just because I like it. But it's the Perk Book upgrade, and it's super cool because once you finally finish a Perk Book series like Ball Brawler, Fireman's Almanac, the Needle and Thread, stuff like that, you actually get something cool. So like, let's say you find a bookshelf, and you're like, oh yes, finally, the last Bar Brawler or Fireman's Almanac or whatever I needed, you know, to complete the set. Especially in this mod, you're really going to be happy about it, because when you come here and you look, we have the perk books and list what they do, right? Well, now we have something better. At the end, we get a bonus that's the 7th curse for bar brawling. And it says, the 7th curse, unleash your inner chi with this ancient martial arts technique. The 7th unarmed strike landed in a short time does 300% damage. People might say, oh, that's not much. But if you play like I like to play on a horde night and stuff like that, and you're punching the piss out of zombies and stuff like that, this is super cool because you'll get them 7 hits quick, boom, 300% damage. You can easily kill a lot of stuff in 1 hit with that. But not only that, like if we look at the Fireman's Almanac, the perk for it is Wasteland Psycho. The smell of smoke gets your adrenaline pumping. Deal double damage with axes against knockdown enemies. When in the burnt forest or wasteland, gain 20% stamina, regen when sprinting, which is fantastic. Suffer no encumbrance and deal 20% more damage against enemies in general. In the wasteland or burnt biomes, those 2 things are a godsend. I love them. But then, like, people are like, oh, well, really? Is it really worth it? Yes. The Needle and Thread, military clothing. Learn to craft military-grade battle dress uniforms which have the best protection against the elements. Boom. Don't have to worry about trying to find schematics or spec into something you don't want to spec into. If you get lucky and you complete the set, here you go. And this again adds, I like to say it's like a trading aspect. You're playing with friends and stuff like that. This lets you add into something like this because depending upon the type of play style you have, how you like to do stuff, you can barter with your friends and stuff and be like, hey man, once you hook me up with that one, I got this one for you, you know, so where you guys can really try to get these perks because it's going to be really beneficial to you. I really like this mod for that. It gives a lot of good playability. And if you're playing solo, eventually when you get all these things, the Pistol Pete, Powder Burns, shots from 9mm weapons filled with 3-meter range, ignore 20% of armor, cause bleed damage. That's awesome. Like, especially on a horde, like, depending on how you do stuff, if zombies are right up on you, all right, get that bleed going with a pistol as you run away, you know. I love it. I think this is a fantastic mod for that, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy playing with it. But with that, we're going to go ahead and move over to the last mod. Alright, folks, so this last mod is the Sierra 8 Super POI by Flona, and the reason I call it a Super POI is because this thing is big. I've not actually finished going through this since this POI dropped. It's a big POI, and there's 2 versions. You have a light version and a hard version. And because I'm a sadist and a dumbass, I went with the hard version, and I have not cleared it completely yet. I've had a lot of fun with it, but I haven't cleared it yet. But it is a big POI. It is a big military post, and if you make this place your main base, you have a huge amount of ground to do pretty much whatever you wanted, and a hellacious time defending this place. Now, the mod does come with a Navigating map with this I don't want to say rendered on it, but like installed, so you don't have to worry about doing that yourself. Or you can just generate your own map, plop this in it, and then start a new save and stuff like that. I like just using the Navigain one, just because it takes some of the work out. But you see, there's some really cool stuff here. There's a nice little, jail here. We have these big buildings here, a little water tower. I love these little towers here. I wish more bases and stuff that I built had types of things like this, but I don't ever build anything like that. I'm just kind of lazy. But there's a lot here. You say you have a helicopter landing pad over there. Nice little tower there. Tons of ground to cover. And this place is big to the point where, like, I can't get everything to render in correctly. But it's super huge. And I know if you guys are like me and you like the big POIs like I do, you guys are going to have a ton of fun with this. It's just, there's a lot here to loot, a lot here to kill. Just so much fun to have with this thing. And honestly, if you guys make this into like a server base or stuff like that, you guys are going to enjoy the hell out of this thing, especially playing with friends. Stuff like that. Like raiding a big ass POI like this with friends is super fun, because it's always, or at least with me and my friends, it's always like, oh my god, I'm in trouble. Well, where are you? I'm in the building. Yeah, you're in the building, but which one? There's a lot here. I love POIs like this, especially like I said, playing with friends and stuff, or playing on a server. Having a big POI like this is just super cool, especially the way that this was done. It's just super clever, and I love the paint textures and everything. It just looks super, super good. I love this. Of course, we have the obligatory upstairs areas, and I'm not going to show everything with this POI. I want you guys to play it for yourselves. But we will go, and I will say, look at that. Yeah. 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 Look at that. You guys want to say why I said which building and stuff? Well, how my friends act, or we're in the room. Yeah, really? Which room? Because, look, this thing is massive. It goes almost all the way down to bedrock. I said before that the Navigain airport was probably the biggest POI, right? I think this one actually has it beat. And just look at the attention to detail. I mean, really? Air shafts like this? That's some clever damn building. I don't know of any other POI builder I've seen has done something like this. Have a shaft that goes up. Well, I mean, you could, bust your way in and fall down, but I mean, you wouldn't really want to. But it's more like just an air shaft for drawing in air or expelling air. And you guys see how big this thing is, right? You see how much there is here. This is gigantic, ginormous. It's just, there's really no other way to say it. The amount of sleepers and stuff that are in here, the proper amount of zombies and stuff in this POI is outrageous. But you guys are going to have a ton of fun with it. I know you will. I know I have. I've had a blast with this thing. I have enjoyed going through this POI immensely. Immensely enjoyed going through this POI, and I know you guys will as well if you like big POIs. And like I said, though, I haven't cleared all of it. Haven't. There's so much here. It's like every time I show a big POI, some POI maker's like, oh yeah, hold my beer, I can do better. I mean, not to really say that that's what happens, but I mean, it's just phenomenal to see stuff like this. I love it. I love seeing gigantic POIs like this. It's super, super great to see the amount of work that people put in, the labors of love that I get to explore and enjoy, and especially playing with friends, just having those types of memories that you guys have been able to give us. Thank you guys so much for that. I really appreciate stuff like that. It's just so, so awesome to see. But with that, folks, we are done for the week. Thanks for sticking around. I hope you had fun. If you liked the episode, go ahead, like, subscribe, drop a comment down below. Let us know what you think. But have fun, take it easy, and we will see you next time.